1 minute.
Happy Hanukkah, United Hebrew. We are so excited on this 8th night to light the candles with all of you from our homes and our families. To all of you, happy Hanukkah. And Cantor Eicher, take it away with our candle blessings.
Okay, everybody, let's start the candle. The first one, the Shamash. So let's start the Shamash first. And as we light our Shamash, then remember that we are going to light the newest candle, the 8th day first, and then work our way all the way back to the first one. So here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adikneh shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoteinu bayamim ha'hem hazman hazeh. And now we're all lit up. Here we go.
I love it. It is so beautiful. This is my favorite night of Hanukkah, just when there are so many Chanukiot lit. And I want to acknowledge that Jessie, too, has her beautiful lights, because at United Hebrew, we celebrate everybody, and we see Jessie's beautiful light from her tree. Wishing everybody sorry, a very happy Hanukkah. From all of us, from the staff at United Hebrew, your family, all of us, we wish you a very happy Hanukkah. And we are going to invite you to stay online as Rabbi Bellows is going to share a very special Hanukkah story with you all. But all of us, we wish you a happy Hanukkah.
Well, happy Hanukkah, everybody. I get to tell you a Hanukkah story. And what I'm going to tell you is a story about light. So once upon a time, there was a very, very, very wealthy king who had a very, very, very wealthy kingdom. And this very, very, very wealthy king had 2 sons and 1 little 4-year-old, 3.5-year-old daughter. And this king wanted to know who was going, of his 3 children, who was going to inherit the kingdom one day. And so the king came up with an idea. The king said, I'm going to show you all this room, and you have to fill it. Whoever can fill this room to the fullest capacity, that child shall inherit my kingdom. And so the oldest son said, I know what to do. So the oldest son spent day after day filling that room with these big boulders, these big rocks, and filled up that room to the brim. But he wasn't done, because what he did was, after that, he then got these little tiny pebbles and filled in all the cracks and said, voila, Father, I have filled this room to the greatest capacity, and I should inherit the kingdom. And the king said, maybe you'll inherit the kingdom. That was a good try. So then the middle brother said, all right, Father, that was a pretty good attempt, but I can fill it even more to the fullest capacity. And so the middle brother took sand, a very fine sand, took a bucket of sand and went to the top of that room. And there was like a little hole and poured in bucket after bucket of sand, and it kept filling in. It kept filling in. The boulders and between the pebbles, there was still room. And so the middle son kept filling it further and further with sand until there was like no room left. There was nothing left. And the middle son said, see, he didn't fill it to its fullest capacity. I did. I should inherit the kingdom. And the king said, you know what? That was pretty good. Maybe you'll inherit the kingdom. And they didn't figure that the little 3.5-year-old daughter was going to come up with something to do. But the king ordered that the room would be emptied. So the room was emptied. The room was emptied. All of the sand and pebbles and big rocks was all emptied. And they thought they were done. They thought the middle brother was going to inherit the kingdom. But one day the king was walking and he saw all these people gathered around that room. And the king said, what's going on? What's everybody doing here? And they said, look, it's your daughter. And he looked in the room, and the daughter, his 3.5-year-old daughter, she walked in that room and she had a candle that was that had a wick. She had a candle and she had a match, and an adult helped her light the match. She asked for help, but they lit the match and they lit the candle. And the king saw, it was a dark night. The king saw that the light of the candle filled up every single little nook and cranny and crevice of that room, even every spot that the sand couldn't even reach. The daughter was able to fill every little spot with the light of that candle. And right then and there, the king declared that his 3.5-year-old daughter was going to inherit his kingdom and be the next queen of this kingdom. And what do we learn from this story? We learn that the lights that the Chanukah brings us, that Hanukkah brings us in this very dark time of the year, the light, the warmth that Hanukkah brings us, that the Chanukah brings us, and that even other holidays at this time of other faiths that talk about light in the dark, they bring us this beautiful light that can fill all spaces and fill our hearts with joy and with warmth. And we're so grateful for it. So this Hanukkah, I hope that each night when you lit more and more and more candles, the Chanukah got brighter and brighter and warmer and warmer. And it only does that because all the candles work together. So if we work together, we can bring light and warmth and peace to this world. And I pray everybody has a happy and a healthy last day of Hanukkah and a happy and healthy rest of your winter. So happy Hanukkah to all.